Hey guys, Captain Kurt here down at our Florida Training Center. Glad to have you back. Been a little while since we made a video, and we're sure glad to put one out right now. We've been so busy. And hey, I just got my monster out of the back of the garage here. We've been loaded up and so busy taking care of all sorts of different things since we got back. We had a late start getting out of our Ohio Training Center to get down here and get set up, but we're up and running now. So if you're ready to go, we are too. But as I was bringing my monster motor out, and it reminded me of all the calls I've been getting. And I thought I would just make a video to let you know what's going on. It would just save me a lot of time. Maybe you'll stumble across this before you call. We haven't updated our video or our website rather lately, and that's going to be resurfaced and refaced here in just a little while. Updated with new prices, new videos. We're going to take any of the old equipment off of there and the new equipment on. We just, sometimes you get so wrapped up in just taking care of business and training students and flying. We just haven't had time to update anything on our website. That's going to be getting a facelift here pretty soon. If you haven't seen the videos for the new FlyPod Beast, the Gen 5 FlyPod Beast, that is the latest and the greatest equipment out there, which brought me to the next question. And people have been asking, wait a second, I want to order this, I want to order the FlyPod Trike, and they're already on the right track, because the FlyPod Trike has been the best-selling trike on the market for almost 20 years now because of the things that it does. Tougher, built stronger, made of steel, pilot protection, multiple hang points that don't need to unhook anything. It'll accept anybody's motor. So if you have a different motor besides a Fresh Breeze or besides the Beast that will clip onto the FlyPod Trike, don't worry about that. The FlyPod Trike will take anybody's motor. You can clip anybody's to it. It's specifically made for Fresh Breeze motors, and of course the new Beast is custom made, and it is a FlyPod product. It is not a Fresh Breeze product. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But one of the big questions I have, and some of the other things that that the FlyPod has been so famous for, is that self-corrective, fixing front end. A lot of trikes want to roll over. This one doesn't, because it has an articulated front end. It'll self-correct and self-steer. It's telescopic. It's got that fastened down seat. If you roll over a trike, and again, this one's the hardest one to roll because it'll self-correct if it senses a roll, but the other ones out there have sometimes a harness hanging in here. I can't. It's the poorest design, and I've watched it happen. I've watched guys roll them over. There's nothing to hold you down. You're being flopped around in there because the seat is not fixed in there. This is a racing seat from the racing people at Summit Racing. This is a drag car seat. You're staying down in there, and you're not put in with leg straps, chest straps, shoulder strap, and all that stuff. You put in with a good seatbelt. You can flip this thing upside down and hang from it. But the nice thing is, when you do need to get out of it, pop, you hit one button, you can come out of it, but you're held in place. Much safer. You have spinal protection. It's padded. Not only that, it's so unbelievably comfortable. Instead of sitting in a harness and trying to buckle yourself in an upright position, this is sitting back like you're in a recliner. You put your feet up, and it's just amazing. The nice thing about FlyPod, too, is you got those quick releases to take the motor on and off your trike really quick, except as well as with the new Beast, the brand new FlyPod Beast. And of course, FlyPod has different designs. They have the FlyPod X, the double-seater. They have the FlyPod Beach Pod with the bigger axles, bigger front forks to accommodate those big balloon tires if you're launching off of sand. And then they also have the FlyPod e-bike. If you haven't seen that, that is a big seller. People are able to do cross countries, and after they land and they pack up their wing on the back and put it in the bag, there's motors in the bike type wheels that they can drive through town, get to a motel, get to food, get to the gas station, get to the campground. They're not stranded in a field somewhere needing a chase vehicle or anything else. They can literally travel around the country in an e-bike. One of the motors that we use, and I'll get to the point of why I'm making this video, has always been the big power plant, and it was the go-to for tandem. It was the go-to for not having a motor that just had an incredible climb rate, an incredible amount of thrust. And what was really nice about that is when you're doing tandem, yes, you can do tandem with smaller motors, but you're doing it at an expense of just wiping out your motor, just working it to death the entire time. The fuel efficiency wasn't there. When you got a bigger motor and you got that power and you've got that torque, you're not just you're you know, sometimes when I was with a passenger, I'd be barely, I'm going to get out of this sun for a second. I was barely above idle in level flight. I was probably about quarter throttle in level flight, even with a passenger on. My motor's running cooler. It's running quieter. It's lasting longer. It's not just taking a little tiny, you know, 185 motor and strapping two adults in there and doing tandem with it and just staying on full throttle the whole time. It's terrible for a motor. And the Monster was always the go-to for almost 20 years now. And Herth put this motor together. They are a German aircraft motor company. They've been around since World War I. And everybody keeps asking, what happened to it? Yes, we stopped using it. Why? Was there something wrong with it? No, absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is probably the most dependable unit I have ever seen in the market, in the powered paragliding industry. I've been in it for 30 years as one of the first, if not the first instructor in the United States teaching powered paragliding. I'm still out there. And by the way, we train free of charge if you get your equipment here. That ruffles a lot of feathers. A lot of dealers don't like that I do that, but we just don't want you to skip the training. We're all about safety. We have a perfect safety record. So if you come here, but this motor's been around since I've been in the sport. It's phenomenal. It's incredible. I was brokenhearted a couple years ago when we learned that Herth was going to discontinue it. And we were like, why? I mean, why would you do that? Well, it wasn't because of anything wrong with the motor. And by the way, you can still get parts. Don't be worried about that. Herth didn't go out of business. They're going to be around forever. But they make a whole plethora of different motors for bigger aircraft. In fact, our little 313cc, which is big in the powered paragliding industry, only makes up less than 1% of their sales. And this is what I'm told. So it just wasn't viable for them to just keep making it when they make so much more other money making bigger aircraft motor for other small ultralight planes and, of course, full-size general aviation planes. So there's nothing wrong with it. You can still get parts. It was the go-to. We had to start looking in a panic. We started looking at what's out there. And amazingly, and thankfully, we found something that even went better than this. I almost hate to say that, but I got to admit to it. It's been more, if not as dependable, if not more dependable. But and I'll tell you about some other things that are now. The Monster is an air-cooled motor. Carbon fiber props at a double ring cage, but this is still a backpack motor. On the new Beast, we have its own cage. It's even stronger than our double ring cage. A lot of these cages and a lot of these things out here are very flimsy, or they're a half cage, or they just don't offer the protection in a rollover. On the new Beast, it's made of steel, just like the cart. You say that's going to be heavy. No, it doesn't matter. You're going up. It's all relative, and with that amount of power. This was the same motor used, if you saw our other video where we launched a 6'5", 500-pound Pauly. By the way, I hope you're still praying for him. You know he got cancer, and we'll tell you more about that some other time too. This is what Pauly flew. So it got a 500-pound guy off the ground, no problem. And this was no slouch. I'm 220. I sometimes get to 230, and I would take up adults with me, and I was able to back down the throttle when I got up there. The new Beast has 100 more pounds of thrust than this motor. It's got bigger props. It's liquid cooled. Instead of belts, it has a transmission on it, a gearbox transmission with a clutch drive system on it. It comes standard with electric start, which used to be an extra option on this one. And there are not cage sections, and they're not made of aluminum. So FlyPod said, you know what? We're going to make something even stronger than double ring cages. We're going to make steel cages. We're going to make one that pops on and off like a backpack. And if you look at it at quick glance, it does look like a backpack motor, but it's not. And it's got big 150-centimeter props. These are 122-centimeter props. So we got more thrust. We got liquid cooled. We've got a ton more torque. It's incredible the way it flies. When I flew it for the first time, I just couldn't believe it. I watched that motor for 2 years. Even Fresh Breeze switched to that motor of Germany. And so now FlyPod is using that motor on their new ones. This is my Fresh Breeze Monster. I keep it down here in Florida. And I'm really missing my Beast. It's up in Ohio. But I'm going to keep this one down here. There's nothing wrong with it. But I just want to answer the question of what happened. And so that's what happened with it. Nothing went wrong with the motor. And again, you can still get parts. The Monster pieces will always be available, I think, for a long time, because they've been using this motor for so long, and the Hearth has promised that they're always going to keep parts available, so that if you do need some parts, give me a call. We can get you what you need. But if you're looking to get into the next generation, the Gen 5 FlyPod Trike, it looks exactly like this, except it's got the new beast on it. Go check out the other videos. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll even show you a quick glimpse of it at the end of this video, so you can kind of see some of the things that are on it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a work of art, and we've been just getting them out of here faster than we can order them. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks for a delivery time. Once you order them, each one is custom made for you. If there's any specs or changes we need, and by the way, if we have anybody that has any kind of handicap, we've dealt with people in I worked with Wounded Warriors for a long time. We always take care of our service guys. Some of the guys had missing legs. I was working with Wounded Warriors. Some of the guys were missing legs. Some of them were paralyzed. Of course, you've seen some of my videos where I've trained people with missing arms, or a missing arm. But we can help you to, if we have to adjust or make any modifications to this trike, we do it absolutely free of charge. We love our veterans. A lot of my family are veterans. My father's a veteran. My uncle was at the Battle of the Bulge. So we're very proud of our military. We try to take care of them anyway. So if there's anything we can do, but on top of that, if you do get equipment from us, you don't pay thousands of dollars for training, and it's not just 7 to 10 days. It's unlimited training for life. And if you bought a whole package of us, you get unlimited training for you, your children, your spouse. If you buy any one piece of equipment, maybe you already have a motor and a wing, but you really want a FlyPod trike because it's a blast. You can do so much more with a trike that you can't do with foot launching. It's not only way more fun, but there's so many things you can't do if you're a foot launcher. Watch my other video about the trike versus the foot launch, and you'll learn more about that. It's I'm trying to remember what the name of that one was. They just don't want you to know some of the things there. A lot of people want to get you in the foot launch because you break so many props. It creates quite a lucrative income for them when you're tripping and falling in your first year, busting out cage parts, busting out propellers, but it's so limited when you do that. So we're still going to sell foot launch, and we will have some Fresh Breeze products available on our website when it's resurfaced and refaced, and you can get foot launch. And I train people that come in for foot launch. I'm very good at it. You can watch those videos of me flying the monster on my back at 60 years old. So if you do want to know how to foot launch, I'm going to teach you some techniques you won't learn anywhere else. But so many people, once I explain the difference, really like the trike. You can strap on camping gear. You can do all sorts of stuff with this, haul all sorts of extra stuff up with you, strap things to this, strobes, cameras, cell phone holders for your full navigation, just stuff that when you're foot launching, you just don't have the ability to do. It's way more fun, way more comfortable, way safer, and it's able to share it with a lot of different people of different weights. So a guy comes in, he's 240, 250 pounds. He can fly the biggest motor we got, and his daughter or his son could be 120, 130 pounds and still fly the biggest, baddest motor we got because it's on a trike. It's not on their back. The torque, they can't get riser twists, and they can't get all that. The FlyPod trike accommodates for all that, and you have a bigger weight range. So everything about the trike is a win-win situation. But I hope that answers some of the question about where the monster went and what's going on with it. This is mine. Now I just pulled it out. I'm going to turn the fuel on. And we got some old gas in there. We'll see if she'll start, how many pulls she takes to get going here. All right, check our throttle. Clear? Oh man, it started on the first pull. See if we get it on the second. I shut the choke off now. 2, 3. So we were so concerned when we started using the that's awesome, man. So that's even got old gas in it because we were up in Ohio for 5 months in the year, and of course it's already December, so this has gone 7 months with dirty gas in it. It still starts right up. Of course, I always drain my bowls out, but we were so concerned about not having a motor as dependable in this, and we've got every brand new fresh fly pod beast on. Once we stuck the fluid in it, stuck fuel in it, got it all assembled. I mean, they started right up, and we have a friend that's been using them for a couple years now, doing tandem rides. Never had an issue with it, and all of what it's the Cosmos 300 Viterazzi is the motor that the Beast is using, the FlyPod Gen 5 FlyPod Beast. Look it up, Google that. Hey, if you like what we got, and watch some of our other things, we got a lot of videos that teach you a lot. Sometimes we're just goofing around in our videos, but there are a lot of teaching videos on techniques, how to launch, how to land, how to taxi, stuff that's not being taught other places. And if you check those out, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let us know. If you have any questions, give us a call. We keep our phones open from 8 in the morning until midnight, 7 days a week for the past almost 30 years now. If we can help you out in any way, give us a call. Pick yourself up a new FlyPod Beast. I'll put a little bit, I'll put a little video at the end of this video here, so you can kind of get a look at it and kind of connect you to that, so you can see what it looks like. Bad to the bone, work of art. Guys, thanks for joining me. Have a very Merry Christmas. Look forward to seeing you soon. Now's the time to order your equipment. It's going to take about 3 to 4 weeks to get in. About that time, we'll blink and we'll turn around, and springtime will be here. But you can come down to sunny Florida and let me get you trained, get you flying, and let's get going. God bless you.